All right, guys, we're going to start this early just a little bit. I am finally back. I haven't done a stream in a long time. A little bit under the weather. I lost 8 pounds from being under the weather, and I'm finally ready to be back. Let's get this shit rolling. The Eagles have a draft in about 24 days from now, and I'm here to discuss a lot of things that have been going on, whether they've bothered me or whether I've seen some trends that I don't necessarily like within the fan base and other fan bases, and what's going on in baseball, what's going on with the All-Star game in Atlanta. Like, there's a lot of things that just bothered me. So this is a welcome back stream. It's not going to be all negative. It's not going to be all positive. It's going to be everything. Anything that you guys ask, anything that you guys want me to address, I'm going to address unfiltered. I'm not going to hide from the truth. I'm not going to just try to please people. Thanks, Buckeye. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I've been back, and I'm very happy to be back. A lot of people take this content creator thing for granted, and I'm just not one of those. I'm always there for my following. I'm always there for you guys. At the end of the day, I'm a human being just like you guys. I just have a voice. I happen to have a voice, and I just want you guys to understand that, not everyone's going to agree with everyone, and it's okay. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to explain in my unfiltered thoughts what I think about the world, the sports in general, the world, everything. Because a lot of people are dealing with issues in the world today, and I was one of them. I am one of them. So I'm definitely here to talk to you guys about things that are going on. We're going a year and a month of this pandemic. It's been way too long, and a lot of people. I'm a big person of mental health. So I want to see if you guys are doing all right. I'm here to entertain you guys, obviously, about sports. And, yeah, let's get this shit rolling. Face Smokey, can you start off with the All-Star Game thoughts? I think it's complete bullshit. The reason being is because the reason why they're pulling the All-Star Game out of Atlanta is because they don't like the fact that they're trying to make voting stricter. You have to show your ID to vote. And I think that's complete bullshit, because you have to show your ID to drink. You have to show your ID to go on an airline. You have to show your ID for all these other things, but you don't have to show your ID to vote. And people have a problem with that. Now, why do people have a problem with that? It makes it easier to cheat. And a lot of people aren't waking up. I feel like we're the only country on the face of the earth that isn't waking up to all these things going on. Like, you see protests in Berlin. You see protests in all of Europe for this whole pandemic bullshit. Look at Canada. Canada's even worse than us. People aren't waking up, and it's because people watch the news. It's people don't do their own research, due diligence. People don't do their own thinking. They watch the fucking news that's not telling you all the information you need to know. And it's a big fucking problem. It's a huge problem in America. And I'm sick and tired of human beings not using their brains. And I know I'm a sports content creator, but at the end of the day, it's sad. It's really sad. I had somebody come up to me the other day asking me, "Oh, did you get the vaccine? Do you plan on getting the vaccine?" Let me tell you guys something. Getting the vaccine, whether you get it or you don't get it, it's none of anybody's business. It's like me going up to you and asking how much money you have in your checking account. It's none of your business. All right? And if people say they don't want the vaccine or don't care to get the vaccine, they look at you saying, "Oh, you're going to kill people." I mean, it's bullshit. The government is doing their part to divide everybody in this country, and they're working. It's working. It's working. Because people are that dumb. People are that stupid. This vaccine took 9 months to be produced to 132 million people. 9 months. Doesn't have an FDA approval on it. Has an EUA on it, which is authorized for emergency use. And people are just freely taking it, not knowing what it could do to you, not knowing the side effects it can do to you. People ask me, am I getting the vaccine? The only way I'll get this vaccine is if there's an FDA approval on it, which will take 2 to 3 years. I am not putting that shit into my body. I'm not doing it. I do not care. I'm scared. I'm not scared of a lot of things. I'm scared of what's happening in this country. I'm scared. So it's like, I want people to wake up. I want people to think for themselves. I don't necessarily want people to agree with what I'm saying. I want people to think for themselves. And right now they're not doing it. Nobody's doing it. And it's really, really sad. It's really sad what's going on. I thought humanity was better than this. I really did. Now let's get off of that. All right. So my All-Star game thoughts, it's bullshit. It's probably gonna get moved to New York, the bluest state in fucking America. It's a no-brainer because Democrats are just crazy. They're crazy. All right, let's get on to a sports one. What do you think about the Eagles in 2021? I think it is going to be the absolute worst Philadelphia Eagles season I've ever laid eyes on. I think it's going to be an awful season. I don't know what the Eagles are trying to do. They clearly tried to move up to number 3 to acquire a quarterback, and it didn't work out, which means they're not sold on Jalen Hurts. And there are a lot of idiots on Twitter thinking that going into the season with Jalen Hurts, when we tried to get a quarterback, is going to make us somehow playoff contenders. Jalen Hurts is not an NFL quarterback. He is not an NFL quarterback. All right? People are going to say, oh, if you're such an expert and you think he's not an NFL quarterback, why don't you work and try to work as a scout? Well, number one, I can't because I didn't get an education. I didn't get a degree. All right? You need a piece of paper to prove that you could work as a scout nowadays because everything goes off of a piece of paper. Even though I'm better than a lot of these people, I could evaluate talent. I've seen the best of Vic, the worst of Vic. I've seen the best of McNabb. I've seen the worst of McNabb. I've seen the best of Foles. I've seen the worst of Foles. I've seen Carson Wentz being an MVP in the league, and I've seen Carson Wentz being the worst quarterback in the league. Out of all these seasons as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you don't think that I could tell that Jalen Hurts doesn't have it? I've seen all of these quarterbacks come and go. Jalen Hurts had Deshaun Jackson. He had Deshaun Jackson. He had the same exact weapons that Carson Wentz had in week 1 of the 2020 season. And he went, what, 1-3? 1-3 against the Cowboys defense that was absolutely pathetic. They were terrible. Pathetic. And you guys want to move on to a 17-game season with a guy that doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Why waste a season? Why not go get someone like Deshaun Watson? Why not get someone like Justin Fields? These players that could throw 60 to 65 yards on a dime. Jalen Hurts can't throw 40 yards. He can't. He has to launch his whole body into a throw. Like, I don't know. I think it's going to be a really bad season if we go into the season with Jalen Hurts. It's going to be a very bad season. What should the Eagles do at QB? I just nailed it. I just put it out there perfectly. Eagles fans really saying that Jalen Hurts is better than any quarterback in the draft. It's all speculation. It's all, oh shit. We just got breaking news. Jets are trading QB Sam Darnold to the Panthers. Jets get a 6th this year and a 2nd and 4th next year. So Sam Darnold is a Panther. It's a good pickup for them. But yeah, I don't. People are idiots. People are stupid, and the problem is a lot of the biggest sub counts on YouTube happen to be the biggest idiots. And they truly do. Jalen Hurts proved absolutely nothing last year for him to warrant that kind of title. Better than Zach Wilson, better than Justin Fields. These guys, Zach Wilson damn near had a perfect season last year. Justin Fields beat Clemson last year. Trevor Lawrence lost a total of 2 games in his college career, and you're going to say Jalen Hurts is better than all of them. I mean, it's like I don't know. These people are fucking stupid. They're dumb. I'm calling a spade a spade. They're stupid. These content creators are dumb, and they're filling your mind with nonsense. They're stupid. They're very stupid. They're stupid people. And there's not many bright ones out there. There's not. I hate to break it to you. There's not. There's only a select few that actually know what they're talking about. They're stupid. Who are we going to get at 12? Devonta Smith? I would like it. Won a Heisman last year. Has the resume to get picked at 12. A lot of people are saying, oh, he's too weak. Fuck those people. Thoughts on Nazi Germany? Yeah. I I'm just gonna skip that one. It eats me inside. It just does. Yep, Darnold was traded. Panthers suck. Yeah, I mean maybe not anymore. Come on, Deshaun Jackson isn't the same anymore. I mean, he still had the talent. I mean, when he was healthy, he was producing, and now he's on LA. So I as long as he stays healthy, he could produce. He just didn't stay healthy here. Eagles going 2-15 or 3-14. This is the biggest problem I have. If we do go into the season with Jalen Hurts, and let's just say we're an awful team, what quarterback are you going to take next year in the draft? Like, what's a name that sticks out? Because I don't see any. I'm being completely honest with you. I just don't see any. And a lot of people are saying, I mean, look at the draft with Joe Burrow. The year before that, people said that was going to be a below-average draft class, which is true. That doesn't happen all the time. You need to go in with a plan, which is why the Eagles try to trade up to number 3 to get a quarterback, because it is loaded this year. You know what you're going to get this year. I just don't know. I don't know anymore. I just don't know. Thoughts on Kyle Pitts? I think he is a major reach at 6. Well, I thought he was a major reach at 6. Even at number 12, I think he's a reach. He's a tight end. You don't pick tight ends that early. You just don't do it. Everyone wants to be the smartest guy in the room. Oh, this guy's going to be the next Megatron. He looks great. Why? Because his physique is great. Why? Why is he going to be the next Megatron? Megatron retired at the age of 30 and is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to be the next Megatron. Okay. Yeah. Idiots. What's up, Mile High Sports? How you doing? Mental midgets. Yep. Agreed 100%. I'll take my chances with the COVID over the vaccine. I've been fine so far. Exactly. You know, this is how I see it. If enough people get the vaccine, you should have no problem. You should have no problem. The issue is the government is putting it out there that they want everybody to get the vaccine. And soon enough, they're calling on to these vaccine passports, which means you'll have to get a vaccine in order to travel, which is very unconstitutional. And you can actually sue somebody for that. If you go up to a business, I'll tell you right now, this is the law. If a business in New York, Philly, Baltimore, if you go up to, if you go up to the counter and the hostess tells you need a vaccine passport to come through, say it's discrimination and you'll be hearing from your lawyer. It's that simple. There will be a ton of lawsuits because that is discrimination. Because if you don't have a vaccine passport, people know that you didn't get the vaccine, and it could cause fights. It's discrimination. Wake up, people. Ben Simmons sucks, and we are not getting out of the first round. I think we'll get out of the first round. I mean, we'll be a 2 seed, so we'll probably play someone like the Knicks. The Knicks are a really, really gritty franchise right now, but we'll get out of the first round. Pitts is a great player, so it would be a perfect spot for him. He's the best non-quarterback in the board. Yeah, it says who? Like, I mean, I respect your opinion, but really, says who? He wasn't really talked about until 2 months ago. Like, says who? He played at Florida. He played in the SEC. I understand he balled out in the SEC championship game, but it says who? Like, I mean, I want a player. I wanted Ja'Marr Chase. He was my favorite player for the last 2 years. Now, honestly, maybe Howie decided to trade back because he knew he wasn't going to get Ja'Marr Chase because it looks like he's going to Cincy, even though they need an offensive lineman. But he was my favorite player. He truly was. All you have to do is wear a fucking mask. The vaccine is stupid. There's a reason why New Zealand is COVID-free because they wore a mask. Apparently, masks don't actually work due to a study. Apparently, they don't work. And they're actually saying that masks actually make people sicker, because you're not letting the actual bacteria get into your body. Like, not even just COVID. You're not letting bacteria get into your body, your normal day bacteria, and your immune systems are getting weaker. So apparently masks are making people more sick. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything. It's all speculation on my part. I'm not a doctor, but I tend to agree with that theory. You know, you need to have bacteria put into your system because it makes your immune system develop, it makes your immune system stronger. You know, people are going to get sick, and it's not because of COVID. It's because their immune systems aren't used to the other diseases out there because you're wearing a mask 24/7. It's pretty simple, you know? I see Jamar Chase going to Miami. I don't think they're going to pick. Actually, you know what? They're picking 6 now. I can see it. Kyle Pitts going to Atlanta. They would regret that forever. You're not. Why would you pick Kyle Pitts at 4? It makes no sense to me. It would be stupid if the Bengals don't take Penei Sewell. I agree. Let me see. How come Trumpers expect me to suck his dick for expecting the vaccine and then tell me not to take it? I didn't tell you anything. I mean, I'll tell you a fact. Trump was the reason why the vaccine was put into place so quickly. It was Operation Warp Speed. People were asking for it. People were like, oh, we're going to die. He gives it to you. Doesn't mean you have to take it. You know, he was the reason why it was sped up. He's the reason why it was. It wasn't Joe Biden. But with that said, even though Trump put it out there, I'm still not taking it. Why don't people want to stick with Hurts when they could get a better quarterback? Because he's the only option. Wentz left the team, and they think that Hurts is going to be a lot better than him. It's not. If I didn't have such a problem with Wentz and his attitude and him not wanting to compete, I would have rather kept Wentz over Hurts because Wentz is an actual NFL quarterback. Hurts isn't. So it's people are dumb, dude. Do you think Bateman is underrated? I do. For Minnesota, I do. I wouldn't mind picking him at 12. I know you're an Eagles fan, but what do you think the Chargers should do at 13? Maybe get an offensive lineman, Slater. I think they should get an offensive lineman. Protect your asset with Justin Herbert. The guy's a stud. I've had COVID for 8 days. Just want it over with already. COVID is a nuisance. COVID is definitely a nuisance. You'll have a fever. You'll have body aches. You'll have all this stuff. But one thing it won't do is kill you. If you don't have if you don't have things before COVID, like cancer, preconditioned, I'm missing the word. Conditions, you will not die from COVID. It's 99.8% survival rate. You know, for the people that did pass away from COVID, my condolences. But it's just one of those things. It's one of those things that it was built in fear by the government. I'm honestly just sick of talking about it. Who has bigger tits, CDP or Mark Holmes? I'm not going to judge that. How do I feel about Biden's current presidency? Is that a joke? He sucks. He's horrible. The best moment of his presidency was him tripping up the stairs. It made me laugh. It made a ton of people laugh. You know, it's all about entertainment. You know, that was the best part of it. You have Kamala Harris like laughing about kids at the border while she's trying to put a speech out there. She can't go 2 seconds without laughing. It's a joke. It's like we're living in the Matrix. It's a fucking joke. I know that you don't really like Hurts, but we need a full season. We don't need a full season to evaluate. Why? Because he's because he's the second option. That's why we need to evaluate him. Like, why? He doesn't deserve it. It's a good question. That I'm not going to. I can't really talk. That I'm not going to ignore. I have no rebuttal to it. You know, I'm not going to say I was completely wrong because I truly feel he'll be back eventually this year. But on that theory, I kind of was wrong. And you know what? I admit when I'm wrong. All right. But I do a lot of research. It's just everything seems phony right now. Everything just seems phony right now. You know, if Biden truly is the president right now, he is the worst president of all time. It's that simple. He's awful. He signed 43 executive orders within his first 14 days as president. He's basing his presidency off of executive orders. That's a dictator. That's bad. Like, really bad. If anyone's really supporting him right now after seeing how bad he is, I can't help you. I truly cannot help you. We got a super chat from Jerry Mayhouse. The only way to get rid of Howie is to tank like Desert Storm. I don't think we're going to get rid of Howie anytime soon. I hope we have a decent season, but it's not going to happen with Jalen Hurts. I'm just putting that out there. It's not going to happen with Jalen Hurts. What's up, Raider Nick? How you doing? Do I like college basketball? I do. I don't love it. My team's Rutgers. They played a hard-fought game against Houston. They were up 10 points with 4 minutes to go. Excuse me. And they choked it away. I don't love college basketball, though. No, I watched the national title game tonight, though. To me, moving back to 12 to get an extra first and probably having a bad season seems like a rebuild. Yeah, but it really depends where that first-round pick next year lands from Miami, because they could be good this year, and then we'd get a late pick instead of a mid-round pick. So it really depends. What's a trustable website for politics? Honestly, just doing your own research. I can't give you a full website because then you'll think I'm biased. Just do your research. Go on Google. Go to websites you've never heard of before. Do your own research. Look at videos. That's all I gotta say. Just don't watch the mainstream media. They don't tell you everything you need to know. They just don't. And it's been like that for years. It's been like that before Trump, honestly. What's up, Big Play? Say, how you doing? Thanks. I really appreciate it, man. NFL with 17 games is weird to me. Yeah, it is. But, I see why they did it. They got rid of a preseason game, which I love. I think the preseason's a joke. But whatever. Thoughts on Ronald Reagan, one of the best presidents ever. Truly one of the best presidents ever. Did I make money on the tournament? I made a little bit. I didn't make that much. How do I feel about Michigan basketball this year? I thought they played very well. They ran into a really hot UCLA team who just got a buzzer beater were the victims of a buzzer beater against Gonzaga, which was one of the best college games I've ever seen. Michigan played well this year. They did. They just ran into a really hot team. Or else they'd probably be in the championship game right now. Maybe not, actually, because they played Gonzaga. Yeah, makes sense. Do I think that COVID-19 was man-made? In my speculation, yes, I do. I feel like it's biological warfare. And it fucked up the whole world. So, yeah, I do. Better team, 76ers or Celtics? Sixers. Sixers are the better team right now. Celtics are talking about firing Brad Stevens, actually. I think Brad Stevens is a really good coach. So that would be a really bad whammy by them. Dude, UCLA was hot, man. They're hot. I wasn't alive. Nets are winning the whole thing. I agree. Very star-studded stacked team. Very star-studded stacked team. Who do I think is the most overrated draft prospect this year? Kyle Pitts. Should I move to Colorado? If you like marijuana, sure. We need a rematch UCLA versus Gonzaga game. It was a great game. It really was. It was. And it came down to a buzzer beater, which was fitting. What's the worst state in America? It has to be New York or California. What I think was the worst president? Well, I can't really say Biden right now because his term's ongoing. But he would be the worst president. Let me think. The one before Reagan was pretty bad. I forget his name. The one before Reagan was really bad. But I can't remember his name. What I think is the biggest atrocity of the century so far, human beings, the way they acted in 2020 and 2021. That's the biggest atrocity. It's not necessarily government. It's people turning on each other for the stupidest reasons. And we got to wake up. Jimmy Carter. Yep. He was probably the worst president ever. He was bad. If you could live in any state besides Jersey, where would it be? I didn't think I'd ever say this in a million years. Probably Florida. Would I travel to Tokyo? Not right now. Can I do another political stream? Maybe. I don't know. See, here's the thing about politics. It's a very touchy subject right now, and YouTube doesn't – if you try to monetize something, they'll take away your rights, and it's something that, I don't know. Maybe sometime. Thoughts on Obama? I have none. What's up, Matt? How you doing? How much money does Ben Simmons deserve? Not as much as he's getting paid right now. Florida's a good state minus the alligators. It's the most American state out there right now besides Texas. Do I think Darnold will do better with the Panthers? Yeah, I think so. I mean, playing on the Jets is pretty bad. Horrible franchise. Who do I think will win the AFC South? Probably the Colts. That division sucks. I mean, I would say the Titans, but I'm not a Tannehill fan. Am I a Republican or a Democrat? I'm neither. I'm a libertarian. I'm right in the center. I see from both sides of the spectrum. Libertarian, you want as little government as possible, little taxes as possible. There's crazies on the Republican side, and there's a lot of crazies on the Democratic side. I'm a libertarian. I'm neither one of those. Is Trump the best president in modern history? I will say this. Trump is the most caring president in modern history. I'm not going to use the word best because I hate using the word best, but he was the most caring president in modern history. It's based off research. Wars and presidents, you can't really compare a war to a president. All right, because presidents, you could do research. You could go back and look at videos. Look at what they did for the country. It's easier to figure out than a war. You know what I'm saying? It just is. To me, it is. Yeah. Yep. Who do you think will draft Najee Harris or Travis Etienne? I want Najee Harris. I think he'd be a great compliment to Miles Sanders. I think he's a stud. I truly do. I think he'd be great. See if I missed anything. I feel like everyone keeps giving the Nets good players to beat the Lakers, so Bron can't three-peat. I mean, Bron's getting older. So I don't know. I just feel like Bron. I feel like LeBron ruined the NBA. I truly do. So I don't know. If the USA doesn't qualify for the FIFA World Cup, I'll be pissed. I mean, they're already not qualifying for the Olympics, so that's pretty big. The Bears look fucking terrible. Yep. Do I hate how British people hate on the USA? I used to because it's not their country, but they're seeing right through us right now. Thoughts on Lamar Jackson? Not a quarterback. Very dynamic athlete, not a quarterback. The Texans will be the worst team in the NFL. I mean, we'll see. I know you're a Yankees fan, but from an outside perspective, what do you think about the Phillies 3-0 start and sweeping the Braves? I mean, I think whenever you sweep a team like the Braves, it's impressive, but we'll see how they do against the Mets because the Mets are a dynamic team. So we'll see. But 3-0 is pretty impressive so far. Well, Nixon got in trouble for Watergate, so I didn't like Nixon. I didn't like him at all. You heard it here first. The Hornets are winning 2 out of the next 5 championships. I don't know much about the Hornets. Would I be a Raider or Bronco fan? Nah. Thoughts on Kenny Golladay? Completely overpaid. 100%. It's a good stream so far, guys. If you guys are enjoying the stream, we're a half hour in. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share it around to your friends and family. And, yeah, I'll be doing a lot more of these. I'm happy to be back. It's been a while. And, yeah, just hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps the stream out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Oh, boy. Are the Eagles the worst ran organization in Philly right now? Yeah, I'd have to say so. Who's better, Cunningham, McNabb, Vick, or Foles? I got to go with McNabb. McNabb was the most consistent one. Royals winning the World Series. It's funny. Flyers are really bad right now. You ain't kidding. They're really bad. They're putrid. Did I like Bill Clinton? I did. I liked Bill Clinton. I knew he had a lot of allegations against him, but I thought he was actually a pretty decent president. Thoughts on the Chavin trial? It's not going to end well. I feel like he's going to be not guilty, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of riots. That's what I truly believe. I don't think it's going to end well, and it's the reason why the media is covering it at every second, every day. Because if he is read not guilty, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really bad, and it's going to be ratings galore for the networks, and that's what they're planning on, accomplishing. The ratings are of people getting mad, and that's the problem with America. It shouldn't be about that. Ratings should be because your network is good, not because of this bullshit. It's really bad. Oh, EDP, I'm going to let you guys in on a little surprise. EDP just became a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. He sent me a text message last night, and it pissed me off. He became a Pittsburgh Penguins fan, and his reasoning was, I am sick of rooting for trash-ass losing franchises. So you picked the Penguins. Great pick. McDavid, Crosby, you might be right. Who will win the NFC East this season? Probably Dallas. If I had to put money on it, I'd probably say Dallas. I don't like it, but it's the way it is. Real life Jace Horn. I don't know much about him. Is he a cornerback? I'd have to look him up. Would I move to Missouri? No. The Bears are the most idiotic franchise right now. We're pretty up there. Will Fall Like an Eagle be back before the draft? Yes. Yes, it will be. At least 2 days. I don't know about the third, but 2 days it will be. It will be back. We took a hiatus, but it will be back. We're going to let what we're basically doing is we want to be the absolute best Eagles show out there. And what we're doing, and this is going to sound kind of awful and sadistic, but what we're doing right now is we're letting the other content creators, do their thing so they could show everybody that they're all talking about the same thing. So when we come back and we're unfiltered, we will be the absolute best Eagles show on YouTube because we're unfiltered. We speak our thoughts. We don't follow trends. And we'll give the people what they truly need and want. So right now we're letting the other content creators out there pretty much screw it up for them so we could be the best. Because I've watched these shows. I've watched people say the same exact things. Like I've watched a lot of Sixers shows. I've watched these things. These content creators, man, they suck. They're terrible. These content creators are awful. And the shows are terrible. And I'm just being completely honest. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. I'm an honest guy. They talk about the same shit. There's no versatility. They talk about the same shit. So a lot of people don't know this about me, all right? And this is a big one because I have a big I have a big following, kind of. It's not that I wouldn't date a liberal girl. I'm a gay man, all right? I'm not straight. I'm gay, all right? So it's a liberal. Would I date a liberal? If they were so far out there, no. It would be tough. Was I in the TTC before? Yes, I was. It was fun. But the thing about the TTC is it's non-existent anymore because the TTC was so brutal. it was so fucking brutal. That people would just report you. They'd say whatever they could about you. And it was brutal. And you can't do that today. You can't. Can't get away with it. You know, the TTC was one of those things that was very unfiltered. I mean, you would talk about, like, there was this one guy, REG, like Bad Dog, before he became a good boy. He didn't compare. He said that REG was birthed out of his mom's asshole. And I'll never forget when he said that, because that is one of the most fucked up things you could say. And that's why whenever I look at Bad Dog nowadays, I'm like, there's no fucking way he's like this. Because back then, he was a ruthless motherfucker. He was so ruthless, you know, and it's just crazy to me. I'll never forget that. That was bad. And then he made fun of EDP consistently. Like, there was this video where Bad Dog, like, took a video of EDP running the 40-yard dash or whatever it was, and he just made fun of his weight the whole entire time. And then when he went all the way to the end of the street, there was a car that was coming in, and he said he thought it was an ambulance because he dropped dead of a heart attack. Now, all of those videos are gone. You won't see them, but Bad Dog was one of the more ruthless people ever. I mean, ever. And he wasn't young. He was like 37, 38. And then obviously he's changing because his crowd is more like family oriented now, but you just don't change overnight. You don't change overnight. Yeah, that was pretty bad. I don't think he did. I don't think he made fun of EDP's mom. That's one thing I don't think Bad Dog would ever do. Because Bad Dog is a good heart. He's a kind heart. But when he rips people alive, it's like something bad happened to him when he was a kid. And he just takes it out on other people. You know, it's just one of those things. I like Bad Dog. But he was very ruthless. Like when I came out, my video is up, like coming out video when I said I was gay. If that were 2 years before I did that, I would have got torn to shreds. I would have got absolutely torn to shreds. I was upset making that video because I thought I was going to have negative feedback. Like I truly did. But that was something I had to do for people out there that were like suffering and stuff like that. But I got positive feedback. It just goes to show you that humanity has come a long way. But now what's happened in 2020 and 2021, it just made us take a step back. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all, you know? And I hope we get back to normal soon. I really do. What do I feel about transgender people? I mean, there are a lot. There's a lot of transgender people out there, you know? I learned not to make fun of or just if someone's transgender, they're transgender. Now, do I believe in having transgender people use the bathroom of a choice? No. I feel like if you're that, it's a weird subject. It's a tough subject. But I don't know. I don't really want to answer that one, you know, because people are people, you know. People have hearts. People have opinions. Everyone has a brain. You don't know what someone's going through. So I don't really want to answer. I don't feel comfortable answering that one. Do you expect Mahomes to be good? Mahomes is already good. Do you remember Billy Bob? I do. He was another guy in the TTC that was very ruthless. Why would you get negative feedback? What you do in your own life is your business. Because people on the internet are savages. People on the internet hate their lives. So people will try to put you down. I had a lot of people, well, I actually had some people come up to me, well, not come up to me, but say in my DMs when I put that video out there that, you know, why are you doing this? It's a sin. Like you're going to go to hell. And it's like, if I go to hell, I go to hell. I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be who God put me on this earth to be, you know? And a lot of people say it's a choice. It's not a choice. I mean, if it was a choice, like I'm not going to say I wouldn't choose it because it's who I am, but it's not a choice. Like people are ignorant. It's not a choice. It's definitely not a choice. What about non-binary? I think that's a little weird. I think non-binary is. I think that's made up. Like, I truly do. They're less than 1% of the population, but you have to remember, transgender, the population is what, like over 1 billion? So if you're going to say less than 1%, it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot of people. Who is Reg? I don't know who that is. Do you think you can knock off the Bucks in the NFC, or will they win the NFC again? I mean, right now they're the defending champs, so you have to go take it from them. You have to go take it from them. Let me see if I missed anything. Did I see Biden's green screen? Yeah, it looked like a green screen. Are you talking about when he was outside the White House? He was walking to the helicopter. Yeah, I remember that. It was weird. Everything about Biden's presidency so far is very weird. It just doesn't seem real to me. Do I like UFC? It's great you asked that question. I'm going to the event in Florida. I'm actually going down. 3 title fights. You got Valentina versus Andrade. You have Rose versus Zhao Wing. And you have Masvidal versus Usman. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Do you think Eagles ownership is trolling their fans? No, I don't. I feel like the Eagles ownership is just so fucked up right now. I think it's very bad right now. But hopefully it gets fixed. If it was a choice, would you choose to be straight? That's a loaded question. Do I want to have kids? Does not having kids suck? Like the natural way? Yeah, that sucks. I want to have kids one day, but you can't when you're gay. You can't. If it was a choice, would you choose to be straight? I mean, kids-wise, maybe, but I don't. That's another loaded question. It's a very loaded question because I am who I am, and I'm happy. Ben Askren or Jake Paul? Ben Askren. I know Ben's not a boxer. He's not a boxer, but Jake Paul's not a real athlete. Like, he's just not. He's a fake athlete. You know, Ben Askren's been in the Olympics. Ben Askren's taken the heaviest punches of all time. I feel like Ben, if I had to call this fight, I feel like Ben would make Jake work to the point of him getting exhausted. And then by like round 6, because I think it's an 8-round fight, by round 6, he would completely control the fight. And he'd potentially knock Jake out, actually. That's how I can see the fight going. When we take Trask with the 12th overall pick, we're not taking him with 12th overall pick. He's going in the 3rd or 4th round. When Washington Post asked, the green screen we're talking about. When you played high school football, did you make varsity as a freshman? No. Nope, I didn't. How do I feel about people comparing Trump to Hitler? I mean, I think it's fucked up. I really do. If anything, you compare Biden to Hitler because of all these executive orders he put out there. You know, but I don't like comparing anyone to Hitler. Hitler was a heinous man. Hitler was an awful guy. You know, it was horrible. Do you find Knicks fans delusional? Not really. I mean, they have a decent team this year. They're the best team in the league defensively, technically. So, what position was I in high school? I was a linebacker and a tight end. Watch Washington draft Kyle Trask because Dan Snyder. But what's the background on that? What's the following on that? I don't really get that. By the way, guys, we are 45 minutes into the stream. If you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Just hit that thumbs up button because it helps out future streams, and, you know, I'm going to be here a lot more because, obviously, I like to vent a lot, and I like to talk to my following. So, who will win the NFC South? It's got to be Tampa Bay. I mean, Knicks fans are Giants fans, not all of them. Oh, yeah, okay. How tall am I? 5'10". Hey, Nitro, who is the one guy in the draft you do not want? And if Howie were to pick that player, what would be your reaction? I do not want Mac Jones no matter what. If we pick Mac Jones, which I think is a huge possibility, I will flip. The guy is trash. Pure trash. Joey, what's up, buddy? Great content creator, Eagles, grinds, hustles, one of the best working content creators out there on YouTube. What's up, Joey? Hey, Nitro, glad you're back. I think Eagles are going defense first round and picking up a wide receiver in the second and moving up late first. Picking up a wide receiver. I would like to see them get Bateman from Minnesota. I agree with your defense theory. I'd go Micah Parsons at 12 personally. It's been a while since we drafted linebacker. I don't remember the last time we drafted a linebacker in the first round. But he's a guy I would pick. So, yeah, I can't disagree with that. How far did high school football go when you played? We went to the second round of the playoffs. We lost to Middletown South in my senior year. It was a 21-13 game. Middletown South was great that year. We were a very good team, but we were in a weak conference, so no one took it seriously, and we lost in heartbreaking fashion. It was tough pill to swallow. Are the Saints still contending? Nah, they're not. Yeah, I'd absolutely love Parsons. I think that guy's going to be an animal, unless the Giants take him, of course. Am I comfortable telling your ancestry? Like in what form? 1 second. Someone just texted me. Jets have a lot of picks this year. Would I be cool with Smith in the draft? Yeah, hell yeah. Anyone that wins a Heisman as a wide receiver, you got to take a chance on. I would love that pick. Mac Jones has a decent eye. His offense made him. It's a good question. Is my beef with E-Rock over? I'd say so. Yeah, I haven't talked about him or mentioned him in 2 to 3 years. He's probably off doing his own thing. I mean, it was stupid anyway. It was really dumb. You know, honestly, if I have to be honest, he was one of the more knowledgeable Eagles fans out there. We just had beef over stupid shit. And, you know, I prefer his content over a lot of the other Eagles content on YouTube. I truly do. Because he spoke his mind. He knew what he was talking about. And a lot of these content creators you see today just want to be right. And you got to have people like that, like him, back. Thoughts on Jalen Waddle? I mean, whatever. I'd rather have Devonta Smith personally, but if we pick him at 12, whatever. Yeah, I would like Parsons a lot. When did me and EDP make up? I think it was 2019. Yeah, we were at it for a while. Thoughts on the Yankees early on? It's very early, but their offense sucks right now. Best case scenario, 17-0. Worst case scenario, 0-17. I mean, literally speaking. Yeah. Is New Jersey traffic bad? At times. Who will win the AFC next season? I got to go with the Chiefs. The Chiefs or the Bills? I think the Bills will be better. I think the Eagles will have the second worst record in the league. Who will have the first? On to I'll read that one in a little bit. The last one that just came in. Thoughts on Ryan Pace? I don't know much about him. I really don't. I don't. All right, so I'll read this one. It's fine if you're gay. The only problem people have is when you push it onto other people or children. It's not necessarily that people are pushing it onto other people and children. It's the fact that there are younger gay people out there. And when you feel like there's a sense of like someone cares about you and somebody wants you to be okay in your own skin, that's what a lot of people are trying to do. But I agree to the point to where people are like gloating about it, bragging about it, like Gay Pride Month, June. People gloat about it, like they're on Twitter saying, yeah, we're gay. Like, I agree with that. I don't like when people push their politics onto me either. You know, there's a lot of things that people don't like being pushed onto them. And I agree with that in some aspect, but at the same time, you kind of have to teach it to younger people. So if they're feeling that way, they could feel it right in their own skin. But I agree with half of your statement. Watch for the Colts very closely. Why? We know what Carson Wentz is. He's either very good or very bad. I hope he's decent. I hope he plays 75% of the snaps this year so we get a first rounder. That's what I hope for. The Texans or Broncos will have the worst record. Well, Broncos, they have a lot of talent on that team. The one thing they don't have is a quarterback. So, but the vast majority of children aren't gay, so you're kind of catering to a small minority. Jimmy, you never know. You just never know. It's something that should be taught but not forced. I agree with that. You just never know. How will Wentz do in Indy? Based off what I've seen the last 2 years, I don't think he's going to do well. I truly don't. Based off what I've seen the last 2 years, I think he's damaged. I truly do. How do I feel about the policing system in the U.S.? The polling system, or I'm trying to see where you're coming from. I feel like the Eagles this upcoming season will be one of those seasons where, they're not going to be good, but they would basically look a lot like 2019, 2020 Warriors expect NFL. I think I'm just going to come out here and say I think the Eagles are going to be trash this year. I truly do. I don't think there's any hope for them. I think they could possibly be the worst team in the league. How good do you think the Rams will be? They have a better quarterback, so maybe 11-win team. The police, the cops, how do you feel about them? There's good cops and bad cops. There's definitely good cops and bad cops. But you need them. You need cops. You need police. You need law and order. Because if you let people do what they want, it won't turn out great. People get robbed, mugged, shot. You need police. And there's a shame there's bad ones out there, but you need police. In liberal states, they're forced gender. Yeah, that I agree with your statement. I agree with that. That's bad. I don't think you should force the gender identity on 7, 8, 9-year-olds. I think that's way too young. Way too young. I agree with that. Why is wrestling so unwatchable? It's bad. It's just really bad. I'm gonna watch WrestleMania because I do every year, but it's bad. My Eagles prediction 6-11 will not be better nor worse, but our schedule is easier as not. It's the easiest schedule in the league right now. As a liberal, I respect good cops. You gotta respect the good cops. They put their necks out in line and they get labeled in with the bad ones. It's bad. Pro or anti-vaccine? People can do what they want. I'm not pro or anti. I'm just not. I'm not going to say I'm for it, but I don't feel I need it. So, I guess neither. Thoughts on Floyd Mayweather and his career? Great boxer. Best defensive boxer of all time, in my opinion. That's my thoughts on that. I'm a right because I love gun. You could love gun and be a left, honestly. It just depends on if you want to protect yourself. Would I date a trans guy? No. No, not for me. I've seen people date trans guys. I just not. Nope. Not for me. How did you know that the Patriot Party was fake? I never knew it was. I never thought it was real. I just thought it was entertaining, if anything. I thought it was entertaining. To rebut all that last thing you asked me, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't date trans anything. You got to be Yeah, I wouldn't date trans anything. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, to say all cops are bad is so irrational. We understand there are bad cops, but to say that all of them are bad is ridiculous. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I know a lot of good cops, and there's one thing you got to know: cops don't like being called cops. They like being called officers. They like being called policemen. They do not like being called cops. They think it is a derogatory term. Is blue my favorite color? No, my favorite color is red. Nitro, I'm not getting the vaccine either. I'm not scared. To me, it's called freedom. Exactly. It's freedom of choice. That's what I believe America is all about at the end of the day. A lot of people are getting it, over 100 million people so far, but it's freedom of choice. Spencer Rattler or Sam Howell? I'd have to go Rattler out of Oklahoma as of right now because he's a better prospect. I don't know much about the guy from UNC. I'd have to take a more look into the film, but for right now, I have to go Rattler. Most people in America are rational snowflake. I agree. It sucks. How do you feel about the MLB decision to move the game out of Atlanta? It's a stupid decision. It's dumb. It's going to take away from small businesses. It's going to take at least $100 million away from small businesses. They would have grew their city even more, and it's a bad decision. It's stupid. Can you do a StreamYard hangout if you create your second channel? I stay away from hangouts just because you never know who you're going to get in there, and someone could ruin it. Someone could ruin it, especially if you get that one racist person that comes in and just fucks everything up. It's messed up. Wait, so you would only date people with their natural gender is what? Yeah, I would. I mean, if that's a problem with you, then it is what it is. But if I would only date a guy who's a guy. To answer your question, that's just who I would date. I mean, that's what I'm into. I'm not into trans people. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I mean, there are a lot of transgender people out there, but I'm just not into it. Who was released? I don't know. Am I the only one that thinks NFL extending games is dumb? Same with the 7th seed. Like, the system was fine. I mean, so everyone's trying to change everything so quickly. It's just it's all a blur. Do I agree with the 17-game season? No, I don't. I think it's too many games. I feel like 16 was enough. I think that was a perfect season. The players are getting paid the same. One game actually takes a decent amount of time off your career. So I actually feel if you're going to do this, well, they are doing it, but I feel like the players should get paid more. That's one thing I agree with. There are a lot of bad police officers that are crooked, but a lot of honest police officers too. Yeah, there's officers at both sides of the spectrum, Let me see. Thoughts on the Pats offseason? I feel like they overpaid on a lot of average talent. At pick 12, if all the receivers are not there, who would you pick and why? Micah Parsons. It's that quick. It's that simple. That's simple for me. Jalen Hurts will be worse than Daniel Jones in 2021. I agree. I don't think Daniel Jones is good either. Let me see. How do I feel about famous conservatives like Candace Owens, Jordan B. Peterson, Tucker Carlson, Stephen Crowder? I like Tucker and I like Candace. The others, nah. But Tucker I really like because he has a great personality. He's very entertaining and he knows what he's talking about. Candace Owens is an African-American conservative. She's basically on Twitter. She knows what she's talking about too. She pisses a lot of people off, but I like those two. I like those two names. Would I like it if Russell Wilson actually? Yes, I would love it. He's great. He's a phenomenal quarterback. What's up, Danny? How you doing, buddy? The NFL is making all these changes just to make money. I agree. Because they lost so much money last year. Giants might take Smith out 11. They could. I mean, it's out of our hands now. We moved back behind you guys. So It is what it is. No one has gone back-to-back since 04. You think the Bucks can do it? Yeah, I do. Believe it or not. We got the easiest schedule. How he blows, man. Don't blow this again. I don't. I'm so confused. Okay. Since you're a gay conservative, I'm not. No, that's the one thing you don't know about me, Anthony. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a conservative. I'm a libertarian. You know, I believe in the least amount. Oh wow, they're showing the fans at the Houston Astros crowd right now. That is awesome. No masks or anything. I'm not a conservative. That's a misconception that people don't get about me. I'm not a conservative. I'm a libertarian. I believe in the lowest form of government possible. I believe that when you work for your money at your job, you should be taxed the littlest possible. That's what I believe in. You know, I feel like the government should stay out of a lot of stuff. You know, I'm not a conservative. Have any liberals? Let me finish that though. Have any liberals questioned you about not being a liberal based on your sexuality? It happens all the time. You know, but I'm a free thinker. I think for myself, but I'm not a conservative. If two girls fuck, is that considered gay? Yes. Yes. I'm not on Hurts either, but I'm willing to give him a chance. See, I'm not. I'm not willing to give Hurts a chance. It's like, why give him a chance? He didn't earn it. He didn't earn the chance just because it was a botched pick. I'd rather have someone that's ready to be an NFL quarterback week one to give us the best chance to win. Why do we have to give him a chance? I mean, that's like having you, Danny, just go up there under center, just saying, "Oh, let's give him a chance because we picked him." No, you got to earn it. Got to have some competition. Let me see. How do I feel about them doing their best to feminize the NFL and more women being more involved in the league, like being hired as refs or coaches? I'm for it if they actually do their job right. But if it's just pushed because of a narrative, I'm not for that. But if they're good at doing their job, yeah, I'm for it. What conspiracies do I believe in? A lot. There are a lot. I have conspiracy theories for days. By the way, guys, we are over an hour into the stream. This went by really quick. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. And thank you guys for tuning into the stream. It's been a good one so far. A lot of things I had to let into the air. When did I first get into baseball? 2000 World Series. All right. Nitro, 3.5 games ain't enough. To me, it's enough because I've seen the guy at Oklahoma and Alabama. So to me, it's enough. You know, when you ball out against a top team like the Saints and then you slowly decline, if you slowly decline against teams like Arizona, the Cowboys, and the football team, two of which being very bad teams, I just think that's enough. I truly do. How do I feel like Lil Nas X lap dancing the devil? First of all, he didn't lap dance the devil. He was getting fucked in the ass by the devil. All right, that's number one. Number two, I do not like Lil Nas X. And the reason being is because he worships the devil. I'm not a fan of Lil Nas X at all. I'm just not. I just feel like he's a really bad role model. I do. I think he is. Anyone that worships the devil, like they put out devil sneakers, I think they're scum. Like I truly do. I'm not a fan of Lil Nas X. I'm just not. I thought it was very cool that he came out, but all the extracurriculars, I don't like it. Just not for me. Well, to be fair, Hurts played better against the Cardinals than he did the Saints, but he did regress the last two games. He regressed badly. He regressed poorly. Like it was very quick. Like after he launched that ball up to Deshaun Jackson to start the game, you didn't see from him. Against the Cowboys defense, that was one of the worst in the league. Like it was blatantly obvious how bad he was, you know? John. Thoughts on Tua? I don't know. To be honest with you, I feel like Tua didn't show much last year, but he also began the season 6 games in. Like he started his journey 6 games after the season started. So I would give him more time because he actually was good in college, you know. So I would give Tua more time because he's actually deserving. So I don't know. I don't know yet. Did I watch Godzilla versus Kong? I'm not really into it. Maybe I'll watch it. I don't fucking know. Thoughts on the Flyers right now? Also, did you see EDP was a Penguin? Yeah, I did. I'm not happy about it. That's one thing I'm not happy about because he doesn't even know why he's a Penguins fan. The Penguins are the scum of the earth. Like, I'm such a huge Flyers fan, and the Flyers are so bad right now that he just picks the Penguins right now. Like, it's like a kick in the dick. It's so bad. It's so bad. I hate the Penguins, man. It's like the fucking Cowboys. Like, I hate the Penguins. Like, why pick that team? It's like he's trying to troll me. Yeah, I don't want to sound rude, but I don't see anything special with Hurts. Yeah, you're not sounding rude. You're being honest. Top 3 most hated NFL teams. The Giants, the Cowboys. Hate's a strong word. I'm just going to go Giants and Cowboys. Nope, likes the Penguins. Do me and EP still have beef? No. Nope. No, we're cool. I didn't like that. I didn't like him liking the Penguins and sending it to me, but whatever. Yep, I'm friends with him. The reasons why I'm giving him a chance is because it looks like the Eagles will go with him in 2021. If that's the reason why you're giving them a chance, then I guess it's okay, but I'm okay. See, it's okay to not give him a chance. Like, it's okay. It's okay to say that he sucks, like knowing the talent in the league. Wow, what kind of pitch is that? Do I think that Jalen Hurts is worse? Yes, I do. I do. I think Carson Wentz is an actual NFL quarterback. Who do you hate? Giants more? I hate the Giants more. Number 1, they're closer, and number 2, their fans are just so obnoxious. 92. Most fun, entertaining hate week you had while the TTC. Any Giants week, honestly. There was this one content creator, Eric PABC, that I pissed off so much during the 2012 season that he got so drunk. He was like, fuck you, Nitro Freak, fuck you. And I'm like, that's what I live for. I get under people's skin, and then they produce content like that. People that won't usually do stuff like that, because I told the truth about his team, and it happened. So, whatever. See if I missed anything. Well, it's pretty much so. We're at 1 hour 8 minutes into the stream. 30 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much for tagging along with this long. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to be on for a little bit more. Why not? Nothing better to do. And do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you like it. And yeah, I'm always filter free. Always, no matter what. The only way I'd stop is if they took my channel down. And then I'd probably make a new one because I like doing this. But yeah. How old was I when I started doing YouTube? I was 18. Do I know Meet the Mets? Unfortunately. Do you think BML and Antifa are domestic terrorists? It's another loaded question, but kind of. Yeah, Antifa definitely. BLM is kind of getting there, because they're terrorizing people. But it's another loaded one. The Jets got basically the same thing we got for Wentz as they got for Darnold. Yeah, and Darnold's, on paper, not as nearly as talented as Wentz. That's crazy. Celtics or Cavs? Who do you hate? What? Hate the Celtics. Wendy's or BK? Wendy's. I want best player available. I would prefer if we targeted O lineman or receiver though. Yeah, I mean I would. We need a receiver. I'd go receiver. Thoughts on the Rutgers football team? They're gonna be balling next year. They're gonna be really good next year. If I were the Eagles, I would have drafted Trey Lance. I think he's special. I agree. I agree. I agree. Do with the Giants in Brooklyn? I don't care. I mean, I'm just happy that. Wait, let me put that back up. I'm just happy that if I go to an Eagles-Giants game, it's in Jersey, so I don't have to abide by the stupid restrictions in New York. So yeah. Oh, you go to school? Which campus? You go to Camden, Newark, or Brunswick? I was just at Brunswick on Friday night. I went to Stuff Your Face to get a fishbowl. Then I went to Pub because my buddy wanted me to go. I haven't been there in a while. But they're gonna be really good, dude. You didn't miss out on much when you weren't there. So let's just put it that way. They have a top 20 recruiting class. So they're gonna be really good this year. Unfortunately, let me ask you a question, Anthony. What do you feel about the vaccination rule? Because I know a lot of people that aren't too fond of that. You know, you have to get vaccinated to go on campus there. You know, I know a lot of people that are actually upset about that. New Brunswick is the best campus. You will have a ton of fun in New Brunswick. I guarantee it. Easton Avenue, so many parties. You'll love it. You'll love that campus. I was surprised how upset Philly 500's audience was when you went on. You just had a different opinion. People are upset when you don't agree, and that's just who I am. You know, if I see something wrong, I'm not going to agree with it. It's like, you know, people are like, why don't you want to give Jalen Hurts a chance? I've seen enough from the guy to where I don't think he's good. I just don't. I live in Mercer. I'm going to Syracuse College since I live in Wisconsin after high school. You're going to Syracuse, New York? Syracuse, New York, like Casanova is where my mom grew up. Syracuse has a very nice campus. Very nice campus. I think the vaccination requirement is kind of dumb because it violates a right of freedom of choice. I got vaccinated already, so I'm not too upset about it. But I agree. I agree with you, man. And there actually are outs on them. There's outs on the vaccine when I looked into the Rutgers stipulations, but it's not good. It's not good. I kind of wish they didn't make that rule, but unfortunately, New Jersey is a very corrupt state, so you're going to have to deal with that shit. But enjoy your time, Anthony. You're going to have a blast there. Do you actually hate Carson Wentz? I don't hate Carson Wentz. I'm just glad he's not I'm glad he's not on the Eagles anymore. You know, I'm glad he's not on the Eagles. Why did Wentz regress, in your opinion? Pressure. He had a kid, got too bulky in the offseason, and his team didn't like him. That's why I think he regressed. Did I go to Rutgers too? I went for a semester and I had to drop out for personal reasons, but I was a huge fan of all the sports teams growing up. I went to almost every football game, even when they sucked. But yeah, school wasn't really for me. I wasn't really a college person. But the life there, man, is fucking sweet, man. It's awesome. Are Syracuse and Rutgers a rival? They used to be, but they don't play each other anymore. Do I think females are oppressed? It depends what you mean by that. I live in Maryland, and in my opinion, it's not bad. It's bad, but it's not as bad as New Jersey. Jersey's bad. Jersey's really bad right now. Monster Streets from Philly. What do you think of the NFL adding a 17th game? I don't like it. I really don't like it. I mean, I like the fact that they got rid of a preseason game, but I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Team hated Wentz because they are a clown. I mean, team hated Wentz because he's not a good teammate. I met Phil Murphy a couple years ago. He said hi and asked me for a picture. I said no then. He said okay and went to the next guy. Wow, what an asshole. He might succeed in Philly. Yeah, maybe. Live in a society that given less opportunity than men. I mean, if you do your job, like Trump said, if you do your job right, you're going to get the same exact opportunity. Put it this way: if you want an example, women's USA Soccer gets paid less than the men because the men bring in more revenue, even though the women win more, like a lot more. More people watch the men. Well, is that true? Actually, I don't know if that's true because I don't remember the last time I watched a men's USA Soccer game. I don't know. All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a comparison, like WNBA to NBA. All right, WNBA, their top player gets $215,000 a year, and when in the NBA you get $150 million. I mean, more revenue, more product placement. You're going to make more money. It's just how it is. Whatever makes the most money, you're going to get a fair shake. It's just how it is. By the way, I've been to Stuff Your Face before, and it's so good. Yeah, Strombolis, man. Strombolis are killer. They're awesome. I like the fish bowls though. I don't know if you're like, yeah, you're definitely not old enough because you're a freshman, but once you get to that age, 21 years, the fish bowls are awesome. Do you want the Syracuse-Rutgers rivalry back because it's like the Eagles-Giants are? Yeah, I love the rivalry. We would have played each other in the Sweet 16 if they didn't choke to Houston. That would have been awesome. DeSantis 2024. I'd be all for it. I like DeSantis. The team hates Wentz because he's a shitty teammate, and also Foles was great. Exactly. Isn't it a coincidence how when Wentz went out, either if it was for Hurts or Foles, that the team automatically played better? He's not a good teammate. Let's go to Sandy. I'm about it. The knee injury and Foles winning the Super Bowl was why Wentz regressed, in my opinion. He couldn't handle watching another guy finish his job. Yeah, and that's a big problem. If you can't come back and say, listen, I'm going to make this team my bitch and I'm going to win another title, you ain't the guy. Just how it is. I'm 19, but yeah, once I'm 21, I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, you'll love it. If you could leave New Jersey and move anywhere in the U.S., where would you go? Saw you liked Florida a lot. Lots more freedoms. I would move to Florida. I mean, it's one of those states that I wasn't really considering when I was younger. But if things are going the way they are in New Jersey, I'm definitely looking to get out of here soon. It's really expensive to live here. There's a lot of property tax. Florida, you have no sales tax. And I just feel like it would be a good option right now. No such thing as coincident theorist, but such thing as coincident theorist. I don't. Okay, very confusing. It's summer. Is summer your favorite season? I like fall. I think fall is my favorite season, but summer I'm not opposed to either because it's nice weather. But I like fall. We know that Wentz is more skilled than Foles, but the team responded to Foles better than Wentz. Foles was way better leader, and Carson, we could have traded Wentz for a 2-3 first rounders in 2019, and we could have. Wentz's teammates are also problems. I mean, yeah, I can't disagree. When would you do a Sixers play-by-play again? I'm not doing. I'm going to be honest with you, Daniel. I'm not doing one. Too many Sixers content. I don't like to get labeled into the Sixers content creators because I think a majority of them are very dumb. I've said this earlier in my stream. I've said a majority of like Philly content creators are very dumb. They go for trends. They say what the people want to hear, not what they need to hear, and that's just not how I roll. So I don't label myself in that category. I just don't do it. I hate how people were rooting for Foles and Hurts to fail. Just because Wentz wasn't playing, they were literally rooting against the team. Yeah, I mean, it's how it's turned. I don't like it, just like you don't like it. Favorite DJ, I like Avicii, but also rest in peace, Avicii. I loved Avicii. He hated performing in front of live crowds. I loved his music. He never wanted to perform. He always wanted to stay in the studio, and unfortunately, he overdosed. Sucks. It's sad but my favorite, to finish that, I like Cascade. I'm a huge Cascade fan. It was sad how there were so many Wentz fans. They literally put Wentz above the team. Yep. They wanted to see him win so badly. More respect, I agree. I'm glad Carson's gone too. We needed to get out of that contract. It just needed to happen. Yep. I mean, we have to suffer for a year, but it is what it is. Is what it is. All right, guys, we're at 26 likes right now. Let's try to get to 40 likes. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're liking it. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I'll definitely be doing these more often, maybe twice a week, just to see what's going on. I was a huge Carson Wentz fan early in his career, but he just wasn't meant to succeed in Philly. Yeah, I agree. Wentz is gone. Why are there so many of his lovers still in Philly? Because, unfortunately, a lot of them actually are Eagles fans. They're just trying to cope. My future roommate is a Packers fan and even thinks the Eagles babied Wentz and coddled him and protected his ego. Yeah, they definitely did it. They definitely did that. And it kicked him in the balls. Favorite sporting event you ever attended? It's a good one. The NFC Championship game in 2018. That was my favorite. Talk about Nicky. Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, he gets a lot of haters on Twitter because he's like me. He says what he feels, but I think he's a great account. I truly do. Best FIFA World Cup, the 2010 is my favorite. I like all of them, to be honest with you. I like watching the World Cup. I think it's awesome. How do you think the Knicks will fare out the playoffs this year? I think they could go to the second round. They're a very good defensive team. That's my favorite. My favorite quarterback is Nick Foles as well. He did it. Who is Howie picking with the 12th pick? I want to see Micah Parsons, but you never know with Howie. He could trade out of it. I mean, he could trade down again. He could trade up. You just never know. So I'm just gonna wait until draft day. It's gonna be a pretty long night, in my opinion. What's the minimum table hand you play? Minimum hand table you do for poker? I play either 1-3 or 2-5, which means the blinds. If you're playing 2-5, the small blind is $2 and the big blind is $5. That's more enforced action because you're playing with bigger amount of money. But that's what I usually play, 2-5. What happened with the Giovanni Kittle? I don't know. I like Giovanni. I can't say anything bad about that kid. But you're gonna have nut jobs on Twitter. You're gonna have nut jobs. It just happens. Something like Frig. What's up, Fly? I feel like a lot of people that are anti-Howie and very pro-Wentz, but I'm both anti-Wentz and anti-Howie. Laugh my ass off. Both suck at their jobs. It's funny. Where do I go to get my oil change? It's a very random question, but I usually just go to auto lenders because I know the people there. Yeah, we brought that up earlier in the stream. Mac Jones with the 12 overall pick. Imagine now in draft. Ugh, I hate that. Thoughts on Swoop the mascot? Kind of boring. If we kept Foles over Wentz, we would have missed the playoffs in 2019 and 2020. I disagree. I disagree 100%. Foles could have won those games down the stretch in 2019. Definitely could have won those games. The Cowboys game, we only scored, 17 points? It was our defense that balled out. Where would I rank Howie Roseman among GMs? Dead last. I think he's terrible. He's a very awful GM. As a Rangers fan, I like Gritty. I like Gritty too. I don't love him, but I like him. Ed Snyder hated mascots. Time is it? 5:15. Been on here for a while. Guys keep bringing the questions. I love it. I believe Foles is the greatest Eagles QB of all time because he won us a Super Bowl, which is the only thing that counts in my opinion. I also think Peterson is the greatest head coach in Eagles history. I agree. I think, and here's the thing, I think it's odd that somebody hasn't brought up my Peterson thoughts. I think Peterson got the short end of the stick. I think Peterson's a great head coach. Like, I truly do. Whenever Wentz went out of the game, he coached well. He wasn't meant for Carson Wentz, and Wentz wasn't meant for him. You know, him going to Frank Reich now, he might play better, but he didn't know how to coach Carson Wentz. He just didn't. You know, he's good with a pocket passer. And that's that. I hate the, Wentz made the playoffs in 2019. Like you're saying, Foles couldn't have in that division. We went 9-7 with Wentz. Foles couldn't. Exactly. Are you a Philly fan? Nope. I'm a Yankees fan. Doug Peterson was carried by Frank Reich in 2017. No, I disagree. I mean, it's tough for a head coach to get carried by an offense coordinator in any sport. But do you see the Eagles trade in front of the Giants? We'll see. I don't know. Why Flyers fans threw bracelets because it's disgusting. I mean, you're talking about a lot of alcohol being mixed. I mean, it happens, unfortunately. Doug Peterson wasn't a bad coach, but his time in Philly ended with the worst possible. It did. I mean, it ended because a lot of people got triggered by him throwing the game. I mean, it's whatever. Sensitive crowd. Rager in reportedly going to play slot this year. We passed on Jefferson because he was supposedly a slot receiver. Love that, right? Doug Peterson's play calling was not good, but as far as getting them players ready, yeah, it should. I mean, yeah. I like Doug. I didn't see a problem with him. I'd like it. Would you have fired Doug? No, I wouldn't have. Do I have a Flyers jersey? Yep. Simone Gagne. Favorite Flyer of all time? Who the hell is that? I think that the best president is George Washington. Well, he's the first president. I wasn't alive back then. And I can't really do any research on him because it wasn't video. And I was ancient. That was a long time ago. Throwing the meaningless game in the end of the year resulted in an extra first-round pick. Easiest decision. Exactly. Do you think Doug was pissed when Lurie wanted to keep Wentz over Foles? It might have been. Best president ever is Abe Lincoln. A lot of people say that. Ranger fans. I don't know how to feel about Nick Sirianni. I don't either, to be honest. The Giants are being overhyped. Yeah, they have the same exact championship odds as we do. We're supposed to suck this year. There were a lot of good questions today. It was versatile. It was more like the questions that came today were political, sports, personal, a lot of personal towards me. I like conversations. You know, I like conversations that aren't just sports related, you know, that are just out of the blue questions. That's what I like. And that's why I'm going to be doing a lot of these because the people like asking questions. And I feel like this is the one channel where you could get that. You know, you could not dig deep into someone's personal life, but you could ask questions that you'd want to know maybe about yourself. Like there were some really good questions today. Thoughts on the division this year, the Flyers division this season? It's stupid. It's a fake season. 12-4, yeah, okay. If Sirianni fails this year, when I'm on campus this fall, I should tell Greg Schiano to push for the Eagles job. Yeah, Greg's a great coach. All right, favorite comedian. I used to like Jim Carrey a lot. And then he kind of I don't know. I don't really like to bring politics into it. He's probably still my favorite, to be honest with you. What was he talking? I'm not bigly box, but one of my favorite presidents in my eyes is JFK. Yeah. JFK was good. He got shot for being Catholic. Thoughts on Andrew Jackson? Too far back. Eventually the baby starts crying. Pizzle says we'll be great. He's never Pizzle. Pizzle's never right. He's never right. Why do you think Rangers fans are delusional? They just are. You know, they think they're going to win the title every single year because they have one bought title in 1994. Would I ever go to Cleveland again? I probably will end up going to Cleveland, but it's not like I want to go to Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So it's not something I'd be happy about, but I'd probably end up going to Cleveland. Okay. Oh, Nikki, someone asked me earlier if I liked your account, Dots by Wentz, and I said yes. I think Nikki's a very outspoken person. I feel like he says what he feels, and I like your account. I like your account. What's a sports take that makes you look very biased, but you genuinely believe it? That Ben Simmons stinks. That's what I genuinely believe, and it makes me look biased because I've been saying he stinks for years. I think Ben Simmons sucks. I think he is an awful player, and I'm sticking with that because he stinks. Pizzle was right about the Giants. How was he right about the Giants last year? They had 6 wins. Did he say they were going to have 6 wins going into the season? Rangers and Flyers fans are delusional. I mean, yeah. I got to say, as a Flyers fan, like, our fan base is a little bit delusional. I agree with that. 1 second, guys. I got to give an address. Okay, because I'm going with my buddies to watch the tournament tonight. Who do you guys got, by the way, in the tournament tonight? Ben Simmons was terrible last night against the Grizzlies. He's been terrible the last 3 games. He scored 5 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's been horrible. Got Baylor. A lot of people like Baylor. I think Gonzaga's too. I think they're too good down low. Yeah, I think Gonzaga's gonna win. It'll be a close game. I hope it's as nearly as good as a game as the UCLA game was, because that was awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of Gonzaga. Have people called me delusional before? All the time. Ben Simmons only makes the All-Star game because he's a good defender. He's a great defender. That's the problem I have with him. His defense is just so good to where he could be one of the best defenders in the league, but his offensive game just makes him a poor player. He's not very good. If you can't shoot the ball in the game of basketball, like, what good are you? By the way, guys, we're an hour and a half into this stream. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Let's try to get to 40 likes by the end of the stream. And thank you for all the questions. I really appreciate it. Yeah, there are a lot of backstories behind that. What NFL stadium do you want to go to in person that you haven't been? I want to go to the new Miami Stadium. I think that would be fun. Or the Las Vegas Stadium this year. I would love to go to that one. Do I think that the Eagles will beat the Giants at least once this year? I think they'll beat them twice. I think if they're 2-15, those will be the 2 wins. I feel like not sure. People call me delusional too when it comes to the Raiders. The Raiders, they get better every year. So this is one thing I will say, Raider Nick. I don't like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is not a bad quarterback. I just think he's very average. You know, when he got injured that one year, he was never the same. What's up, Brent? How you doing? Do you think Simmons was a waste of a pick? I don't think he was a waste of a pick. Because who would we have picked? Brandon Ingram? I don't think he's much better. So, no. Nope. Oh, wow, that was a bomb. Now they're down 15-1, though. Now they're down 15-2. Why do I think they assassinated him? Because he was Catholic. Have you ever thought about posting sports content? Nah. See, the thing about TikTok is it's wired towards like seniors in high school to like sophomores in college. And I'm just way out of that window. I'm way out of that window. I'm 28 years old. I just like doing YouTube. So I don't know. Just not. I feel like I'm just too old for TikTok. Raider Nick Foles. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like the Eagles is gonna get my Niners this year again for some reason because we're trash against NFC's teams. Yeah, maybe we'll see. TikTok is the worst social media app of all time. I think the Kennedy assassination was a collaboration between organized crime and the Cubans. Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of backstory behind it. I gave my take, Greater Patriot. It may not be true, but that's just what I genuinely believe. Yeah, just what I believe. Doesn't make it true. He does not forget. Who's the worst president ever? It was the guy before Ronald Reagan. We talked about this earlier. I can't say Joe Biden because he's still in his term technically. I think the 49ers will beat us with Bosa and Kittle. Maybe. Depends who their quarterback is. Yeah, Jimmy Carter. Yep. What conspiracies do you want me to say? I have a ton of them, but it's a loaded question. Very loaded question. Ugh. But yes, Jimmy Carter is the worst president ever, in my opinion. $60 shirt. You're a Libra, by the way, so am I. Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to go 3-13 or 14 this year. Then the 3 wins will probably be Niners, Giants, and either Falcons or Lions. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, they'd have to go 3-14 because it's a 17-game season. All right, I'll give you one. This might be a weird one. I feel like the government has been putting stuff in our food to make men less manly, like to make them more feminine. Because if you look at the liberal crowd, the left-winged crowd, all of the liberal crowd all act the same. They act like feminine dudes. They don't act manly at all. So my conspiracy is that they've been putting stuff like hormones in our food to make men less manly. If that makes any sense. It's a weird conspiracy theory, but it's something I've been thinking about for years. So, there's one. I'm 16 as of 2021. I'm turning 17 in October. What year was I born? I'm trying to think. So 2004. 2004. The only division we will have is I don't think so. I think we're gonna beat the Giants. We always beat the Giants. Giants aren't a good football team. Do the Sabres have any hope? Not this year. Yep, that's one of my strong suits. I'm really good at math. Like really, really good at math. Like I could think about it on a whim. Giants almost swept us. Well, they didn't. They didn't sweep us. Almost isn't a thing. Giants actually gave an 11-point lead up in 5 minutes. Do I think the Yankees game will go over? Yes, I do. Who would be my number one choice at 12? Devonta Smith would be, and then Micah Parsons. I'm going to be on for like 10 more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to get out of here. So if you guys want to ask any questions, it could be anything, ask away. And, yeah, this is a very good stream. I love this venting session. It's been a great one. And, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button for me. Thank you so much. Will I be at any Eagles games this year? Yeah, I will be. I will be. Definitely going to go to the game in Vegas. But he didn't. Jerry, he didn't. Their Pro Bowl tight end did not catch the ball. He just did it. So they didn't sweep us. Yeah, a lot of people think Americans are stupid. Unfortunately. Who will draft Kyle Pitts? Probably Atlanta. So stupid. Oh, boy. Oh, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, 2-1 count. It's Detroit versus Minnesota. Who's my pick? The Cowboys, unfortunately. Wow, 15-6 now. Favorite sport to go to in person? Hockey or MMA? Those are my two favorite. Am I a good QB? No. Do I have a good arm? Yes. To be a good QB, you have to have everything working. Mechanics, brain, situational play. Your eyes need to be working. It's crazy. That's why they get paid so much. How's that going to work? Going to games, won't you have to show negative test or vaccine proof? Nah, that's going to get thrown out. It's unconstitutional. Can't do it. Just can't do it. Are you convinced that 9/11 was an inside job? I don't like saying it was, but I mean, more facts are coming out that not looking good. Yeah, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are though. Rank the QBs in this year's draft. Well, Mac Jones is last. I would say Trevor Lawrence is no-brainer, number 1. Zach Wilson, number 2. Justin Fields, number 3. Trey Lance, number 4. And for right now, that's pretty much it. Yeah, well, Zomp is the most delusional person on planet Earth. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yeah, I guess I could agree with that. Well, they're either going to take Fields or Mac Jones because they were at his pro day, and they're really high on Mac Jones for whatever reason. I don't get it. Flyers play closer. So that's funny. Yours and Gangrene David's comment came in at the same exact time. Sam Darnold stinks and buy Sam Darnold. Yeah, I mean, it was obvious. I mean, the Jets are clearly taking Zach Wilson now. Like, clearly taking him now. So, it's definitely interesting. Where do I think Lance will go to? I don't know. Maybe Atlanta if they don't take Kyle Pitts. Maybe. I think Mac Jones will go to New England. I don't know. Jones is better to. I think Daniel Jones stinks. Sam Darnold isn't that bad. Screwed over by Adam Gase. Adam Gase was terrible. I'm already expecting Zach Wilson. He's going to be a great player. Can the Bills win a Super Bowl within the next a few years? Yeah, they can. I feel like they're a really good team. Thanks, Grader. If Lance slides, the Eagles should move up again. I'm for it. Carolina is definitely not drafting a quarterback now. They could go after Kyle Pitts, honestly. All right, guys. Well, my time has come to get off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the stream. It was awesome, very therapeutic for me. And I will be back with another stream, maybe even tomorrow night, honestly. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And on your way out, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel for me. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You guys make this channel. And I'm out.